This radio program is PG-13. Parents strongly caution some material may be inappropriate for children under the age of 13.
The following program is sponsored by Michael W. Smith. The views expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Arizona, Brother Mike, back on the radio. Welcome to HardcoreChristianity.com. Welcome to the program. Welcome to the Arizona Deliverance Center. Today's Bible study, Humans Creating Humans, on Filthy Fridays on Hardcore. Thanks for tuning in. Please call somebody and tell them this radio program's on. This you ain't gonna believe. I'm Brother Mike at the Arizona Deliverance Center. We're downtown, 15th Avenue, just south of Osborne. It's a red brick building. When you go to the website, HardcoreChristianity.com, you'll see all of our ministry services. We have a counseling center there. It's only for born-again Christians, though. If you're a born-again Christian, you can receive counseling. If you have no money and no insurance, that's no problem. Call me at 602-636-5800 or send me an email, Mike at HardcoreChristianity.com. Please send me an email and get the code and the password for our 4 Zoom services every week, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, and Sunday evenings. We have 2 live services every week at 7 o'clock on Thursdays and Fridays. We have a children's healing and deliverance service once a month, the first Saturday of the month, 10 o'clock in the morning. We have deliverance training classes. They are free, Tuesday nights at 6:30, and Saturdays, the 4th Saturday of the month, at noon at the Deliverance Center. We have another healing service coming up at the end of the month. I hope you'll avail yourself to it. We have enormous deliverances at the Deliverance Center, and now our healings are starting to catch up to the deliverances. It's really been an exciting period. Hope you'll come for help soon. Please don't delay it, and I'll see you Sunday morning on my podcast at 9 o'clock. Humans Creating Humans. Friends, I'm telling you, we're moving into a situation with genetics and AI that nobody ever saw coming and no one ever thought possible. AI in particular is going to wipe out so many jobs in the United States, you're not even going to believe it. This thing has only just begun. I'm not talking about just manufacturing, assembly type jobs. I'm talking about clerical jobs, IT jobs, telemarketing jobs. Unbelievable. I mean, AI is going to be laying off so many people that you're just literally not going to believe it. It's really going to be a tsunami in our civilization. There's no question about it. Please remember that all my predictions come true on this radio program. Over the years, I've hit almost 100% predictions. Almost 100%. This one is a slam dunk prediction. AI is going to take us out. Genetics is also going to factor in. Now, that's the story of the radio program today. Check this out. We know there's been strange genetics in the past. We know that. It's in the Bible. Genesis 6, as you remember. Quote, "It came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, the daughters were born unto them, and the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and that they took them wives of all they chose." Now, the Hebrew phrase "sons of God" means angels. And Jehovah said, "My spirit shall not always strive with man, for he is also flesh, yet his days shall be no more than 120 years. Now, that's a reference to the 120 years Adam had left to live. It's not talking about human beings living to 120. Then it says in verse 4, "There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God, the angels, came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. The same became the mighty men of old, men of renown." Those were the giants, the Nephilim of the Old Testament, mentioned before and after the flood of Noah. Now check this out. 21st century. 3 adults had their DNA removed. Okay? And that DNA was now used to create 4 boys and 4 girls through in vitro fertilization. Those children were born, 8 kids, July 16th, 2025. And the children were born to mothers who had mitochondrial disease. If I pronounced that right, I may not have. That's a disease that's sometimes fatal. It's passed from the mother to their children. Well, they didn't want to have kids the natural way because they didn't want the kids to get the disease, so they did it through in vitro fertilization and submitting their DNA. This research has all been done in England. They had spent decades developing this technique in England. Mitochondrial donation treatment, MDT is what it's called. It begins with in vitro fertilization. Doctors create an embryo from the mother's egg and the father's sperm. They extract the parent's nuclear DNA and transfer it to the donor embryo that has its own nuclear DNA removed. Did you hear what I said? Yeah. Yes, sir. The genetically reconstructed embryo is then implanted in the womb. This process is expected to not only eliminate that, but all other genetic diseases that people run into having babies the natural way. You know, things like autism, Down syndrome, all kinds of things. They're looking to expand this significantly. The births were described, here it is in the New England Journal of Medicine, because the England was the first country to legalize this procedure. They legalized it in 2015. The research started over there. We don't have it over here in America. Newcastle University was the centerpiece of it that started it in 2017. Now they followed up on all these kids that were born and the people involved in the process, and they noticed that the babies had some minor conditions, you know, things like urinary tract infections, strange muscle jerking a little bit. You know, mitochondrial disease was not seen in any of the kids. Well, now the religious people are getting involved in it, and now they're getting scared because this looks like we're making humans. And the Catholic Church has stepped in. They're very concerned about it. And they, you know, we're calling it MDT. They said they don't like it because the child has basically 3 parents. And that the technique depends on the destruction of 2 human lives, embryos, who had inherent dignity and rights, and they must be protected from their creation as persons in order to create a 3rd embryo and life. So you're kind of tinkering with God's business here, even though it has the potential to be what you would consider a societal good thing. The religious people are also worried because it fractures the child from biological parenthood, and it steps into the unknown world of genetic engineering with manipulation of the human genome. And they're worried about it because it doesn't have the normal thought that when a baby is born, it's a gift of life, which should be respected at all ages. Of course, it isn't. Abortion is running rampant here in America. But the numbers of abortions are going down because of the new administration. They're anti-abortion funding, so that portion is declining significantly. IVF is raising serious ethical concerns among medical personnel, religious leaders. They're kind of bothered with this thing because there's a routine creation of surplus embryos And that leaves many human lives. What happens is they freeze them. They store them, and some of them are ultimately destroyed. And plus, there's questions about safety concerns. There's already hundreds of lawsuits. Most people don't ever hear about them. There's hundreds of lawsuits about this thing already because a lot of the embryos are lost, destroyed. Sometimes they're implanted in the wrong patients. For example, one woman's embryo was mistakenly transferred to a stranger, and in another lawsuit, a clinic discarded embryos without even asking for consent to do so. Then there was other lawsuits involving mix-ups of embryos or mishandled embryos. Widespread procedure failures occur in this system. So in the future, what you're going to see is all kinds of lawsuits springing up over these created embryos and these human beings they're creating in a way in labs. And you sit there and you look at science fiction movies when I was a kid in the 1950s and 60s, when I was young. It's actually becoming real in the 21st century. And with AI, this thing's going to explode all over the planet, and AI is going to be following all of us. They're already tracking us. And AI is going to know literally everything about us if they don't already know it now. Every time you click your phone, every time you click your laptop, somebody's watching you and somebody is recording it. They know exactly what you're doing. And they're put them in categories, and AI can track you so easily because AI is super intelligence way beyond that of a human being, but not beyond that of the legendary Holy Ghost, the one and only. He knows exactly what's coming. He will protect you. But right now, friend, you need to surrender your life and make it quick. You need to do it now, hardcore. Give me a call for prayer. If you need to be restored, God will do it quickly and immediately. 602-636-5800. Friends, very hard and very challenging times are coming to America, and you're going to need your faith to be rock solid to face this thing. Time is running out on us. AI is coming for us. It's going to take over, friends. It's going to run the country. It's going to run the world. I'm telling you, it's just around the corner. And if they don't like you, like they do in Canada, they just put you to sleep. 602-636-5800. See you next time.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.